right is further reinforced by the provisions of Article 72, Clause 1 and Clause 2, which state as follows. Every person has got the right to form a political party or other organization. That is the right which is created under Article 72, Clause 1 and Clause 2. Every person has got the right to form a political party and other political organizations. B. An organization shall not operate as a political party organization unless it conforms the principles laid down in the Constitution and it is registered. The procedure for registration of political parties is well stipulated under sections 6 and 7 of the Political Parties and Organizations Act as amended. The process involves filing an application with the Electoral Commission accompanied by 2 copies of the political party constitution, list of full names and addresses of 15 members of the political party from each of at least 2/3 of all districts in the country, a full description of identifying symbols, slogans, and colors of the political party organization, if any, underline that, if any. You may register a political party without colors or symbols. And obviously, the last requirement is registration fees. It's important to note that individuals desirous of registering a political party are required to pick forms from the offices of the Electoral Commission generated under Section 72, subsection 2, as well as the 3rd schedule of the Political Parties and Organizations Act 2005 as amended. Relatedly, the Electoral Commission introduced the practice of reserving names as generally done with the registration of corporate companies. I will pause here and explain. 1. The process of registration is triggered by filing an application with the Electoral Commission under Section 6 and Section 7 of the Political Parties and Organizations Act. That is the initial process, but there are prerequisites to registration. The preliminaries involve causing reservation of the name, which is also a practice that was introduced by the Electoral Commission for purposes of registration. So the process is 2 segmented. 1, there are preliminary processes. There are those preliminary processes, the pre-registration processes, that is picking the form from the EC under Section 7, subsection 2 or section of Section 7 of the Political Parties and Organizations Act. That is picking the form. 2, reservation of the name. Those are pre-registration processes. On the 27th day, now we are taking you to the events. What has been happening? On the 27th day of August 2024, a delegation of 12 leaders from Katonga embarked on the preliminary process of causing registration of the People's Front for Freedom, whereof they approached the offices of the Electoral Commission for purposes of reserving the name for registration of the said entity and also picked the requisite forms. 27th of last month, 27th August. That's when this delegation appeared before the Electoral Commission. The purpose of the visit: reserve the name and pick forms. They carried along with them the following, a document which had the following attributes of the party and the paraphernalia. The name of the party: People's Front for Freedom. Color: white and royal blue. Symbol: form. Slogan: freedom for all for freedom. Freedom for all
for freedom.
All for freedom,
Freedom for all.
That is the slogan that was taken there. The particulars of the delegates, subscribers, call them promoters, were as follows. Number 1, Honorable Wafro Good, and the NINI number is there, together with his contact. Honorable Jock P. Bile, with all his particulars. Honorable Oldman Albert Charles Okero, full particulars there. Mr. Stanley Katonga, Tugume. Miss Basima Sarah Sengen. Miss Nanyonjo Susan. Mr. Wanda Ronald Samuel. Miss Kamatenet Ingrid Trinawe. Mr. Opoka Kenneth Joffrey. Miss Nakasoria Jane Lubega. Miss Kunihira Proskovia, and Mrs. Anne-Marie, with all their particulars. And some of the subscribers and promoters are with me here at this press conference. Surprisingly, the Electoral Commission officials declined to issue them with their aforesaid registration forms on such spurious grounds that they needed to first verify the aforesaid particulars. Mark you, it's not a requirement at that stage for those particulars to even be submitted or let alone be verified. It's not a requirement, because you are not filing the application for registration. You are seeking to reserve the name and pick the forms for purposes of collecting the signatures and preparing the constitution. At which stage, when you are filing, is when you submit all those requirements. On the 4th day of September 2024, the Electoral Commission issued a rather disturbing communication to the effect that the promoters of PFF had not complied with the provisions of Section 7, subsection 1C, as well as Section 8 of the Political Parties and Organizations Act 2005 as amended. They paradoxically stated that, much as the application for reservation specified the name, colors, symbol, and slogan, the same lacked material particulars of full description. How ridiculous can they be? They further contend that the name People's Front for Freedom closely resembles an already reserved political party name, People Power Front, PPF, and the colors are similar to those of the Forum for Democratic Change. In a response dated 9th September 2024, the promoters made a strong rebuttal to the said contentions and explained each and every issue in succinct terms. It's quite baffling that to date, the Electoral Commission has not considered it necessary to communicate the position of the law on the matter in light of their aforesaid rebuttal, or better still, accord the promoters a right to a fair hearing by way of physical interface with the Commission over the said matters. Here our contention is twofold. One, once a rebuttal was made on 9th of this month, a week later, the Electoral Commission has not favored us with a response on the position taken. Today is 16th. It was taken on 19th, the rebuttal. A week down the road, no response, no decision made. They are just quiet, totally quiet. They have not said anything after the rebuttal was made. That is one. The second concern here, before the impanned letter was issued by the Electoral Commission, they ought to have at least summoned the promoters to accord them a right to fair hearing. Please appear before the EC and substantiate your application to reserve the name and move the Commission to issue with the forms. In other words, they ought to have put, maybe if they were in doubt, they ought to have put the promoters to task. First of all, to answer all these questions, but also to show cause why they should be issued with the form, if at all it was necessary. And to us, we are saying it is absolutely not required under the law for the EC to raise any issue. Once you appear there and ask for a form under subsection 2 of section 7 of the Political Parties and Organizations Act, you show up before the EC like, here I am a Ugandan, I'm a citizen, I'm of majority age, I have a right under Article 29 to form a political party, and under Article 72 of the same constitution, they are obliged to issue with a notice, with a form rather, with a form. Now, they indulged that kind of form, which we shall explain later here. Be that as it may, we need to restate our position as follows. Number 1, reservation of a name before registration is desirous but not mandatory. I find this as the most ridiculous and unpalatable contention. To begin with, the law prohibits the registration of names similar to those of registered parties and not those in the process of registration. You need to understand that. The law prohibits registration of names similar to those of registered parties, but not those which are in the process of registration. In the communication from the EC, it's very clear. They are saying People Power Front is in the process of being registered. If it were a kid, it's in the womb. He has no name, has no sex or what. So you cannot plagiarize something unborn. That's the whole point. The purpose of reservation, though, is to notify you that beware. If you want to register a party, there is somebody who has registered the name, who has reserved the name. Do it at your own peril, at your own risk. It's not a bar for you to proceed, but you do it at your own peril. If somebody returns and registers, say you were notified. You went ahead, picked forms, started collecting signatures, you prepared your constitution, you prepared everything, well knowing that there was somebody in the process of registering the name. You were notified. So the purpose of registration is to notify whoever wants to register a political party subsequent to the reservation of the name that beware. So the Electoral Commission would issue the notice with the caveat that please proceed, but you should get to know there's somebody else who has reserved the name similar to yours. So there could be some issues later, because once a notice has been issued, once you have filed the application, the notice is put in the Gazette. If there is anybody complaining, it is at that stage that one can begin now complaining. It's at that stage that one can raise an objection to the registration when the notice has been put in the papers, in the Gazette, that somebody is applying to register. But at the stage of reservation, well, even if it were to be used as a bar, as an absolute bar, yes, it happens in the company law. Once you go to reserve a name which is similar to that which has already been reserved, you'll find the problems to reserve the same. Agreed. Take a note of this. Reservation is not permanent. It is time bound. You reserve a name for a month. You reserve you cannot stop people from reserving. Supposing one reserves about 100 names. Because you can go to the Electoral Commission and you reserve 100 names and you don't proceed to register for 3, 4, 5 to 10 years. Isn't that an absurdity? So in the law, even in the company law, you reserve a name for 1 month. If you do not come to act, you go back and renew the reservation. If you don't renew, you cannot complain that somebody else has registered a political party or a company similar to yours. So we are asking the Electoral Commission, for how long did the People Power Front reserve the name? They are not clear on this. But even if they had reserved the name, listen to this. There is no political party with a registered name, People Power Front, as per the list of the gazetted political parties. We wish to emphasize that reservation of names has got a time frame within which the Electoral Commission which the Electoral Commission has not explained. Besides, even if it was still running, even if the reservation was still valid, the two entities are totally different with the different acronyms. PPF, that is People Power Front, and PFF, People's Front for Freedom. Again, for emphasis sake, the political entity cannot patent a letter or word. No. I am Lukwago Elias. I cannot patent Lukwago as my name. And nobody else cannot be named Lukwago Elias. These entities have got identities. Lukwago, yes, it's a name. But, no, sorry, I can patent the name Lukwago. But I cannot patent the letter L, for example, that nobody should use L-E, because that is mine. Lukwago Elias, L-E. Nobody should patent it. It's not there, you know. Secondly, even the words cannot be patented. You can't patent a word that democracy is your word. No. It's the reason the Electoral Commission registered Democratic Party with the word democracy. Social Democratic Party, SDP, has also got the word Democratic Party. There is DP, Democratic Party. Social Democratic Party, it's only S, which is different. The rest are the same Democratic Party. People's Development Party, the only difference is people's. The rest, it's the same DP. PPP has triple P, for example, has triple P. Now, if People Power Front claims that we cannot have P in our name because they also have P, how about PPP, which is already registered and has got 3 Ps? So all the 3 Ps are already patented by PPP. So even People Power Front, PPF, they should remove the 2 Ps because they are already patented by triple P. It's abundantly clear that the aforesaid frivolous and vexatious contentions are only employed as a veil by the Electoral Commission to mask state orchestrated machinations intended to scuttle our unwavering efforts at reorganizing the forces of change and giving direction to the liberation struggle. That is the only thing. That is the only intention. They are using it as a facade, as a mask, as a cloak to conceal the state orchestrated machinations of scattering our efforts at reorganizing the forces of change to give direction to the liberation struggle. That's the only reason. What do we intend to do? Because that is now our judgment. That is our finding. Now our judgment. No, that's our judgment final. What is our final call? Therefore, the Electoral Commission is hereby given 1 week within which to issue the promoters of People's Front for Freedom with the requisite registration forms as provided for under Section 7, subsection 2 of the Political Parties and Organizations Act as amended, lest we shall be constrained to take drastic and illegal actions. So I need to repeat this. And we are not mincing the words on this. The EC is hereby given 1 week. Today is Monday 16th. If by Monday next week, the promoters who are here have not been issued with the requisite forms for registration and the name reserved, we shall be constrained. We invite you here. Action will start from here. Where it will end, we are not telling you. But action will start from here on Monday. On Monday, if the forms are not issued this week, we shall start from here. Where we shall end, heavens knows. May God bless you all for God and my yes ye deep elimu DP waliyo DP self yatandikibwawo waliwo neki ne PDP bw'ogamba nti ebyo bimaze byonna obyekutte therefore tewagenda kubeerawo manya gatwalibwa balala so n'olw'ensonga eyo people power front kyanjawulo nnyo from people's front for freedom in any case bo tebalinamu kigambo freedom tebalinamu so n'olw'ensonga eyo nti kakasonga nako kanafu naye tubagambye nti bo bakyekwata paka ddi era commission egamba nti erinnya balyekwata paka ddi we bateewandiisa n'ebirala ebiriyo naye kamalirizeyo kiri ekya primary colors FDC DP ye yasooka ng'erina green UPC n'ebeera ng'erina red FDC nejja n'efuna blue katole ebibiina byali badde biweddeyo completely obagaza ezo primary colors emeka esatu naye bakawandiika 40 siri zonna kale endala ziva mu ezo nga ne royo blue mweva bwe tunaagenda ne tusingako wano tujja genda bakati twagala bamalira buti tujja kulaga mwambi abakama eyakola royo blue yagatta colors emeka ajja kwewuunya n'okwewuunya so n'olw'ensonga eyo tugamba nti bino byonna twabitegeera nga buteego bwa mwami Kaguta Museveni ajja kozesa obusongasonga okugezaako okulemesa enteekateeka zaffe ez'okweorganizinga okuteekateeka enteekateeka ez'omugundu forces of change okuzikunga n'okuziryorganizinga tudde ku mulamu omutuufu ng'Abannayuganda ogw'okweddiza ensi yaffe nga ssemateeka bwagamba mu nnyingo emu nti power belongs to the people kubanga omulamwa gwe tuliko omukulu gwa sovereignty of the people Bannayuganda kubeera na buyinza bwabwe kati mwami Museveni bwalaba enteekateeka yonna ey'okulwana abantu nga beorganizinga beddiza obuyinza bwabwe ate nga tujja kuyita mu kweorganizinga tutibwe kubanga front zikolebwa groups ez'enjawulo so tugamba tutya nti Electoral Commission tugiwadde ewiiki emu okuva olwaleero lwaleero ziri 16 okutuuka ku Monday eya wiiki ejja bwe baba nga bapromota baffe bano be mulabako wano abakulemberwamu ku olwo nga bagenze ku front wali Honorable Ingrid Finawe ne Kenneth Okokon singa tebabawa forms wiki eno ez'okuwandiisa PFF ne Royal Blue Color wamu ne omubala gwaffe ogwa freedom for all for freedom n'akasimu kaffe nga netiwaaka yaffe eya buli omu okugenda ku mutimbagano ku netiwaaka eya freedom Monday tugenda kuŋŋaana wano ekinaddirira be banaamanya ebyokukola bingi ffe bye tulina mu mateeka naye ku Monday tukomawo wano singa wiikendi eggwako nga tebabituwadde ng'erinnya lyaffe balirizavinze ne symbols ezo nga balizirizavinze ne slogan bagirizavinze ne form nga baziwadde ba promoters olutalo sinzikku lutandika ku Monday wano wennyini ku ssaawa 4 ez'okumakya mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala